Hello, hello. Time for a new reading vlog. My first fall cozy reading vlog of the season. And I have here a little TBR. 3 books that I want to read in the next couple of days. First off, I have The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I did recently do a fall TBR for the whole season. So I have 19 books on my seasonal TBR for fall, and this is one of them, The Naturals. I meant to read it since last year and never got around to it. So because I didn't get around to it last year, I decided to put it as my first top priority this year to read. And so yeah, it's not very long. It's young adult, so young adult books, they tend to be very fast paced. Whenever they aren't fast paced, I never like them. But yeah, young adult novels, they're usually very fast paced and straight to the point. So this one I'm excited to read. And then I have Lore of the Tides that I want to continue reading. I only read like probably 5 pages of this book, to be honest. From the last time I did a reading vlog and I was talking about this one, I read like 5 pages. I do want to continue it and finish it in September. And then I have A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which highly thinking of reading this one first, to be honest. So I might be picking this one up first. I am off today, so I have plenty of time to read. I treat reading as like watching TV shows, so I like to listen to audiobooks and read physically at the same time. I like to see the words, but I also like to hear the voices because I don't really like watch TV shows, so that's why I tend to do it that way. And I focus better when I hear the words, but I also read the words at the same time. Which a lot of people tell me that it's weird that I do that, but I don't know. I discovered it a couple years ago that I read better that way. So I've always done it, and it's been serving me. So I do it always. So yeah, I did have the audiobook. I do have the audiobook for this one. So I'm gonna listen and read along. I'm probably gonna read first. I like to read the first couple chapters without the audio first, then I turn on the audio. I like to create the character voice for myself before I listen to the audio. And sometimes I don't like audio. Not every audio I love, so I will if I don't love the audio, I just read the book by itself, to be honest. But yeah, these are the 3 books that are on my TBR for this. I won't say this week, just in a couple of days. It's gonna be a cozy fall TBR. But yeah, let's begin the first fall vlog of the season. I am still working on the puzzle pieces. As you can see, it's coming along nicely, but I still have a lot to do. So over here, I have my August wrap up. I read 7 books in August. Not so bad. I was aiming for 8, but obviously I didn't finish Lord of the Tides, which, I only read a few pages and I was like, okay, let me go do something else. But yeah, over here I have Which is Guide to Magical Innkeeping because I'm going to start reading the first like chapter or 2 and then turn on the audiobook and work on my September reading spreads because I haven't done that yet. It's the 3rd day in September and I haven't done that. So yeah, that was the plan. Alright, it's a little bit later. I did work on my September spreads, my digital reading template. Let me show you. So this is the header page, like basically. And then I have my TBR. So I think it's 8 books. 2, 4, 6, no, 7 books. 7 books I put for my TBR. 7 books I have in mind to read this month. And book haul page and reading update page. Yeah. So yeah, that's my September. And then this is like once I've read the books, this is where I will fill them all in. So that is completed. I did do a bit of work on the puzzle piece, but just like the trees, I worked on that part. There was a bunch of parts with the trees. I did a little bit of work on it. And also, I made some progress reading A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I made it to page 94. I've made it to page 94, chapter 9, and I'm really enjoying it. But I just realized, based on upon reading this, I realized I totally did the synopsis wrong for this one. It is not about a witch and a gardener. I don't know why that was about a brooding gardener. I think I was mixing it up with some other book that had that premise. But this one is big. I was right about it being a witch. Yeah, obviously, because the Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. But it's about this witch who, years ago, when she was younger, she resurrected her aunt, and that caused her to lose all her magic. And the guild that she's with, they basically kicked her out of the guild because she did something totally not acceptable by doing that type of magic, and now she's lost her magic. Well, most of her magic. She only has a little inkling of it. I do love the premise between her and her aunt where they own this inn, and the inn is very magical on its own because a few years ago when she did have magic, she cast a spell on there that allows it to attract only like people that needs the inn, like needs to relax and enjoy themselves there for a bit, or for some reason like the inn just leads them to it. And it's all these people that they really could use like a magical place to be at the time, and like something comfortable and cozy. And yeah, that I find that very interesting and nice. And it was one of the reasons why her love interest, now that's one of the reasons why he was led to this inn, even though he does know of her. He does know of her from years ago, but the inn still led him there with his sister. His sister is autistic and she has magic. She's also a witch, but she doesn't know how to hide it because she is very straightforward and she takes things very like at face value. So she'll do her magic without caring that everyone sees, even though they're telling her you can't do that. She doesn't understand like you can't use your magic that she has, So she's 9 years old, and he basically tried to take her out to this cottage by themselves so that he could like figure out what to do with his sister, since even at the magical school, they're having difficulty with her because she doesn't know how to understand, like, oh, you can't do certain things or follow certain rules. Because she's autistic, it's like very difficult for other people to understand how she operates. But the brother, he knows how she operates, but he's trying to figure out what to do in the future for her to like grow without feeling limited by all these adults' rules. And that's how they found Sarah at the inn, and that's where I'm at right now. And I hope the little girl, the sister, I hope she finds a place. She finds like a place of comfort at this inn, because I feel like it's perfect for her. That's why they were led there, because she needs to be at that inn where it's all this magical craziness happening, and like she is like that with her magic. She'll be able to be more free and don't have so much restrictions basically at the inn. But I don't know, like she still has to go to school. So we'll see. I'll read it on and more and see how it goes. But it's very cozy and comforting for real. So I'm enjoying those. I'm enjoying it a whole lot. I'm not giving 5-star feels, but still a strong 4-star feel is there for sure. Hi, it's currently Friday, and I do have some updates on Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. The update is that I have hardly read anything else since the last time I updated, because I started this historical Chinese novel, so now I actually have an actual TV show to watch. So this one is on the back burner for the time being. I am planning to finish it tomorrow. I'm going to continue the audiobook later today on my way to work, because that's something I also do when I'm commuting to work, because it takes up to an hour to reach my job. So I do like to listen to audiobooks here and there. So I'm going to make some more progress later on my way to work. But for now, I'm going to see my historical drama, because I can't watch that while I'm driving. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's funny why I said I usually read instead of watching shows, and I found a show to watch. I haven't found a show to watch in years. So like I haven't watched like historical dramas like that in a few years now. So that's why I'm excited that I found something that I'm actually invested in to watch. So I'm prioritizing that because I'm enjoying it. It's a new, obsession for the moment. But I'm enjoying The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping still. It's very cozy and very much fall-esque. So I'm enjoying it. But I just have a good show as well to watch. So 2 hobbies are being done this week, I guess. And I don't know when I'm going to finish this vlog. I started in the middle of the week, so I'm probably going to be going to the middle of next week as well. So I have plenty of days to read those 3 books. So I'm just going to enjoy myself and get cozy and comfortable for the next few days, because I just love the season, this time of the year. I just like to slow down and do what I please at my pace. That's basically the update. Update is that not much of an update. finally finished A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I did finish this one yesterday, Saturday, and I gave it 4 stars. So let's talk about it. A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I was very much anticipating this one because I really love the Irregular Society of Secret Witches, which fantastic story, very cozy, very whimsical and sweet, and the romance in it was great. The romance in this one was okay. I did really love the family dynamic, like the found family dynamic in this one. I just love that. I love it when a cozy book has a found family dynamic, like people from all different places with all different personalities getting together. And I love it when there's children. So that's why I really want to read this one. Like, I really love Posey and Theo. They were great. They were just so cutesy, and then they have a little magic as well. So I really like reading about those two. And then Sarah Swan, I did definitely love her personality, and I love her whole journey of like what happened after she resurrected her great aunt. Basically, I love all of that. But I honestly hated the ending. I felt like the ending very much defeated the whole purpose of the story, which, like if you read the synopsis, you know what the whole plot line was. I felt like the plot line was, it happened, but then like it was all undue just because, I mean, I understand what the author is doing. Like, some authors, like, everyone has different ideas of what is like the best thing to do for family and stuff like that. But if it was me, I would never do that. Like, I feel like as a witch, there's like so many more options she could have had and done if she really wanted to protect her family. Like, girl, I would never. I would never, like, the way she loved that thing so much, I would never do it. No. So I honestly hated the ending. That's why I gave it 4 stars. Like, it was like a pretty high 4-star rating, like a 4.5 or so, until that happened. So that's why I gave it a solid 4-star, because I really did love the characters. I did. The romance was there. It was there. I wasn't really paying attention to it that much, to be honest. I was just like very much loving the setting, the whole world building, the whole storyline. I was loving that. I was really loving Sarah Swan and her family members, like, well, in her like family, like the whole premise. I was loving with the found family dynamic there, which it was very beautiful and cozy. Definitely a perfect start of the fall read for sure. So now I'm thinking of reading The Naturals finally, since I've had this one for the past year now. I only bought this copy. It's like a 4-book series, but I only bought the first book because I wasn't sure when I would read it, which perfect because I didn't read it. So now I'm gonna finally read it, and hopefully I enjoy it to the point that I will continue on the series. I heard great things about this one. A lot of people that didn't think they would like it, they read it and loved it. So I think I will like it because I really love Criminal Minds, and people compare it to like a teenage version of Criminal Minds, which I love those stuff where it's like different. It's like a TV show where they're solving different crimes in each show, and I think this one is following different serial killers in each book or something like that. I'm going blind, I don't know, but I'm excited to pick it up for once now. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. I did do a lot of my puzzle piece yesterday when I was listening to the audiobook of Which is Guide to Magical Innkeeping, and I'm almost there. I just have the very tedious part, which is like the tree trunks and like, what else? Oh, there was like another part. It was like kind of like a door, but it was like a mushroom door. So I have to put that together, and those pieces, they all look the same. So I don't know what goes where. So I'm working on the puzzle still. I'm almost done. It might be a couple days or a couple weeks from now that I'm finished, because I'm honestly like tired of those parts. I keep picking them out and putting them back. I'm like, I don't know what to do with them. But that's how the puzzle piece is going. But yeah, I'm excited to start The Naturals. The cold cases are about to get hot. Oh, okay. I'm excited. I'm gonna pick it up now. I've just been having a very slow reading month so far in September. It's already September 7th, and I'm just on my 2nd book of this month. I don't know. I'm not in a reading slump. I do want to read, but I've been very distracted every time I'm reading. Like, I have the will to read, and I pick up the book, but I've just been distracted. So it's taking me way longer than usual to finish these books. Like, usually it takes me on average 2 to 3 days, sometimes 4 days sometimes. And 4 days is when I don't read the book one of the days. So it will say 4 days for my reading tracker. It was like, oh, it took you 4 days to read this book. But maybe one of the 4 days I just didn't read it all. But I have been reading every day consistently, and I still just haven't been able to like finish the book at my usual pace. But yeah, that's something I've realized so far, and I'm like, what's going on? But I'm currently reading The Naturals, and I made it to page 82 yesterday. I'm really loving the one perspective in here. It's in a second POV, and it's basically the serial killer, I assume. I feel like he's related to the main girl's mom. I feel like that's why he's related to. I don't know, but that's the feeling I have. I don't know. I just have this feeling that he's somehow connected to her mother, and I want to see where that goes. I feel like maybe that will be solved throughout the series, not only like one book each. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just going in the series blind, so I don't know. I really don't know the details about the series. I just know people love the characters, and so far the characters are okay. It is YA, so nothing so serious is happening. But based on what I read, the characters in here, they haven't been hands on with cases. They just been like studying cases afterwards because they're naturals with they have like these natural abilities. Basically, like the main girl, she is a profiler, which I love profilers. I love those TV shows where the character can profile different killers and stuff, and when they tell the killers like how they find how who they are and what they love, even when they try to hide it. I just love it when they get on the killer's nerves. But yeah, that's what she is. So she's able to like look at you and tell what you love and what you hate, or like how your life has been growing up and stuff like that, basically. And I think one of the other ones, she's good at lying, but she's also good at telling when you're lying. And then this other one is good at getting your emotions, like feeling out your emotions. You can tell even in a different language, like you speak a different language, which body language is universal. So, you know, so he's good at that. Even though he doesn't speak all the languages, they make him watch videos of people speaking and interacting, but they're speaking in different languages to see like if he can determine which emotions they're trying to hide or like what emotion they are putting off, basically. So it's quite interesting. I'm enjoying it, honestly. So yeah, I'm having a good time reading it. It's just like I'm still in the early stages of getting to know these characters, but for sure, I'm liking them. They're a bit over dramatic, teenagers, they're over the top. They dress weird and they talk like the world's gonna end or whatever. Like their life is just, But I think a lot of them are in the situations. Some of them are forced to be in this program, and some of them came willingly. So obviously, there's gonna be strong emotions from the ones that were forced to be in it, because the way that the guy that is basically kind of their headmaster, or whatever, he like the way he sought out them and forced some of them to go in here was really wrong, to be honest. So I don't blame them for being upset. I just don't know this one guy, Dean. I just don't know what's his problem. Like so far, he's a profiler as well, and the main girl can't figure him out. Like he's weird. So I guess I heard that this does have a love triangle, and it's like a good love triangle. There's only two guys here with her. So one of them is like the typical, more happy, like outgoing one, and then the other guy, Dean, he's like the more serious, like keeps to himself type of guy. And obviously, I feel like they're probably gonna go with Dean more because why? They always go for the serious guy more, and I like the serious guy more too, to be honest. But so far, yeah, there's not much happening because it's very early on in the book, so I'm gonna continue reading it and see where it goes. Okay, it's finally time I wrap this reading vlog up. Today is Tuesday, and I recently finished The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, reading vlog is finally wrapped up. It was almost 1 week exactly, because I started last week Wednesday. Almost 1 week exactly, and I read 2 books. This is my start of the fall reading vlog, basically my first fall reading vlog. And I've been feeling very, I don't know, like a little bit down and just like lazy, I guess you could say. So even reading everything, I've been taking so slow and just like not very invested. Like I really enjoyed A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. Like even with all those like negative feelings, I still felt like more picked up reading this one. But honestly, reading The Naturals, I was just really bored. I was so bored and just like not very interested. Even the Chinese historical drama that I started, I became uninterested in that one too. By episode 12, I was like, I don't know, I don't want to do anything, no hobbies. I'm not like that invested. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's like sometimes you get depressed. Like there's like, because the environment is so gloomy, and in Florida it's very rainy and like stormy at times, and it's supposed to be like nice cozy fall feelings, but honestly it's been feeling very gloomy for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, I didn't have a really great time this week, to be honest. But yeah, I finished 2 books. I think I'm going to take a break from reading vlogs and stuff like that. I am going to still read. I have like few books that I want to read still. But I'm going to give myself at least 2-3 days of this to myself. Not really reading. I think I might pick up that historical journal and see how that goes. But if not, I'm just going to play some games on my phone, honestly. if not. But yeah, The Naturals Now. I finished it a little while ago and I decided it's more like a 3.5-star book. It wasn't anything exquisite. Honestly, it was underwhelming, I would say. I had such high expectations for it, like with the premise. It was a really nice premise, but like the actual like reading it, the teenager, I guess I should have known. Teenagers, what can they really do in the criminal industry, you know? So they really were hands off. They were not much as hands on as I was thinking they would be. They only got more hands on because of like some events that happened that led them to become more hands on, and even that wasn't like that great. I was expecting so much more for them to be on a crime scene and like, you know, like doing their like the deductions and stuff, but that's not what I got, and it was very boring. And it was too much. The love triangle too, like early in this time, we having a love triangle. I don't know. I didn't really love it. 3.5 stars is fair enough because like I was surprised at the end, but like, and I really liked the premise. It was a nice premise throughout the book. It just wasn't executed in the way I thought it would be executed, and like the way it was done, I didn't really love that way. So basically, that is why I gave it 3.5 stars. So yeah, that's a wrap on this week's reading vlog. Let's see when my next one will be. I don't know, maybe this weekend. We'll see. I'm gonna give myself some few days. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching this one. I hope I feel more uplifted in spirits by next week. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.